Morning, Gina.
How the heck are you?
Well, you asked some dangerous questions. You know that?
I do.
I figured out how many contacts I need to make per day based on my yearly goal. So it's all of 12 contacts a day. So I'm a very numbers person and I need a goal. And so Gina has said that I also need to, and she's correct, continue my database, cleaning that up.
Tell them how you're gonna down and dirty it though. Well, if you are gonna down and dirty it, tell them how that works.
Like my specific numbers and stuff like that.
No, you know how you got to get the contact date in there? The return task?
Oh, in my database?
Your follow-up.
Yeah, my follow-up. So I'm gonna I'm putting everything in the database for my follow-up. And what else am I doing?
So instead of making all the phone calls and getting kind of bogged down in minutia of I have phone calls, I got to get this thing and I'm dreading it and I'm not doing it, which is what we all do. I said, just go in there. If it's 12 calls and you have your database and then you have your sphere and then whatever other form of lead generation you're going to do, it doesn't matter what that is. Just set your 12 calls, set the date in. So go in your database and say you have 60 people with no return task dates. Then just grab the first 12 and put today in, the next 12 put tomorrow, the next, and continue on. And then do that way, your KV core is officially, this phone is going to make me insane with the people calling and texting. I'm going to cover it up there. You're buried, leave me alone. And it's just like this, right? Anyway, so that way every day your database is now officially done. You just pull it up and it's like, these are the 12 people you have to call. You have no notes. You haven't talked to them before. And if you don't get 12 answers, you know to go to the other thing and start reaching out to them and dumping them into the database. But it makes it might help. It might be like the psychological trick.
Yes, that
thing. Because then it's done. Then you have this great sense of accomplishment, you know?
Yeah.
That's sort of a tick on the bold. You do the A through whatever, and then, you know.
Oh, what I used to call that? R2D2 is what I used to call that.
Yeah,
Okay.
R2D2.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know what the hell it is, but whatever. It's R2D2. So,
Yeah.
Yep. So, and all that is your database hasn't been touched and you need to get your butt in there. And it's another way of forcing you to get your butt in there and go to touch your database because, you know, good touch. So, all right, Dutch, which rhymes with touch. What is your good news?
I pulled out 360 leads at a prop stream, trimmed them down to 82 single family homes. Started working on the top 10, went directly to one that my partner in Washington State, it's a quarter of a mile from house where his kids are. It's perfect for him. It's been tied up in a foreclosure in his state for a while, but it's over $1 million duplex. It's
I don't doubt it. Washington State,
absolutely perfect for him. However, I'm still working on it. I've been working on it for an hour this morning, trying to figure out some things. And this database thing right here that comes out of our database is so small, I need a magnifying glass. That's and I'm on here, let's see, somewhere, but I'm looking for some Washington.
what part of Washington?
Seattle.
Okay. My kids, well, I'm from there, and my kids, well, one kid's up there, and wife, kids. I'm going to call them kids.
Linwood.
Yeah, my dad used to live there, right outside of Seattle, kind of north.
Yeah, it's kind of north. Yep. And
Cool.
so I went right to it. He's thrilled. He believes it's just divine. Not like divine. It's like Holy Spirit divine.
Not like Miss Divine.
Yeah, not yeah. There you go. You got it. So I just have to stay on it and make sure that I follow through, because I know there's been people pounding on this family for years. I did do a skip trace. Got through yesterday with PropStream on how to do that within PropStream, so I don't have to take it out and do it in Excel and then import it back in.
Gotcha.
And I'm trying to compare PropStream with EasyFlow.
Really?
Really flow.
The skip tracing part, or for the information that the,
Well, I know the skip tracing part. This is 12 cents and it's done right within the PropStream, and it's great.
okay,
It's real easy for me to do that. No extra steps.
that's some cool news.
So
Congrats.
that's good, but do I want to pay it $97 a month to keep it?
And yeah, so I would be comparing it to Really Flow. All right. All right, let's move over to Kay. Kay, what's your good news? I talked about you last night.
Oh dear, sorry about that.
No, don't. No, people are really excited to kind of find out. I said you were kind of testing out. You were going to talk. I go, Gary, has Kay talked to you yet? And he's like, no, I think she's talking to me today. I'm not sure. He started looking around. I'm like, no, it's cool. Because he was talking about Zudilio. Sorry, this is my brain trying to function. Morning, Craig. So he was talking about Zudilio, and I said, he goes, who's using it? Who's using it to great, blah, blah. And I said, Kay, I believe is going to be talking to you. She's got a couple deals for Zudilio where she can get him, do something, and basically, like in very generic terms, very fast flip. And because I don't know who's on that meeting and who's not on that meeting, and Gary's like, oh, I can see that working. And I'm like, I know, me too. And so then a couple other people were in the chat box of going like, wait, how's this going to work? And other people were like, just call Gary afterwards. Like, just set up your time with Gary. So Gary is really excited to talk about you. Other people are really excited. And other people said, if it works, can Kay tell us how it works on the meeting? So I set you up, girl.
Oh darn. Well, I gotta make it work. Well, I'm still experimenting with it, but I gotta my husband introduced me to a deal. And what I'm learning is I go in and you put the address in and you get 3 or 4 offers. So they're usually, one of them looked really good, the cash plus, which is you get paid so much cash up front to close. And then if they fix it up and sell it for more than what they pay you, then you get paid again.
Right.
So that works okay. But what I've learned is that you have to upload pictures. And when you upload pictures, then they come back and they tend to lower the price.
Right.
And so my deal that I thought was going to be really, really good, I entered pictures and then it came back a little different. So I'm still experimenting with that, but I've got a house that first I thought I was going to have a $300,000 spread, but now it looks like maybe $150,000 spread.
Still a good spread.
Huh?
Still sounds like a good spread.
Yeah, it's not bad. But what I found out when I went over to visit with them is the family, the parents died and the daughter put about $35,000 in the house to list it with another agent, and he didn't sell it. He kept telling her it was dated. It's a gorgeous house. It is a little dated. It's got like borders around the top of the ceiling and some, but I went and then looked, and they took a reverse mortgage, and supposedly the reverse mortgage, they owe $738,000, and then the lady wants another $35,000. So the initial deal looked like I could do it and do it, and then when I put the pictures in and the spread came down lower, it was tighter. So now I've got to call the bank and see if the bank, which supposedly had 450 of these reverse mortgages that they can't sell, see if the bank will take less, and then I'm going to give them a cash offer through Zudilio.
Okay, this is awesome sauce. In that, go to Bank Tracker, find the bank, find what their deals are, and then talk to Gary about when you talk to the bank, because if I remember correctly, and I could be dead wrong on this, but I think that they'll want to clean things up quarterly or something like that. So there's timing that is involved with it also. But boy, you have like, get your notes so that you know exactly what to talk to Gary about and get that covered too. That's cool.
Okay.
Cool,
So-
good.
So I've got that one, and on Zudelio, even if, if you closed, and I figured if I closed on a 500 or 600,000, you get both sides of the deal. So you'd get 6% of that, which is not bad. I mean, depending on the price, I figured I would make in commissions anywhere between $40,000 and $50,000, which isn't too bad.
It's great because the price point's lower, but if the commission's double,
Commissions double because you represent both sides.
then in effect, that takes care of that lower price point issue completely. You could go way down in price point and still be coming
Yeah.
out on.
But I've got to figure out how to talk to the bank. So I went over very cocky thinking I had it all figured out. And when I came back and uploaded pictures and the price changed, I wasn't so cocky. So
Well, there's a humbling going on, and that's not a bad thing either.
yeah. And so anyway,
Alrighty.
that's the good news is, I have that deal. And then I have the new build and the two people, the one is a condo and one is a 4 or 5 bedroom house. And I'm going to try and run those through Zudelio and see what I get for them, because they don't really want to mess with showing. And then if not, I've got to get pictures taken this month and get those listed. And then that's kind of it. Well, then I've got my poor man that, I'm still waiting for the underwriters to give me final approval, and the poor man is still on life support. So today's D-Day. It's just been awful.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But all right, I think, well, that is some good news all the way around. And I'm sure you'll be helping the family of the guy too with whatever that ends up to be. So let's hear Craig and PF. What do you guys got?
Hello.
Hi.
Okay.
Good to see you. We missed you. Pink shirt too. We get double Craig. That's awesome.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed everybody as well. I had a good sabbatical, I guess.
Did you halt? Did you halt?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Yes.
this is awesome. Okay.
So I'm feeling refreshed, putting the game plan together and working on my CRM.
Ooh.
Me
Okay.
too,
Boy, you
Craig.
and
Me
Bree
too.
both.
Me too. So Brianna and I worked through a thing, which we came up with, where she's just going to go put all the dates in the CRM of when she needs to call. So it's done. So every single person has her date, and she's just going to list them all like, and then you just, as soon as you get done with that, you just call the 10 people it tells you to call, or 12 or whatever your number is that you need to call.
Yeah.
So CRMs. I need to come up with an acronym that CRM stands for. And I don't know what it is yet, but I'll come up with something, because that's just the way this.
Can't remain mediocre.
Ah, very good, Bree. I'm
Can't
impressed.
remember mundane.
Okay.
I love it. All right,
Or
PF.
crazy rich money.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy rich money. Work on your CRM. Crazy
That's
rich money.
awesome. We like that too. All right, I'm
Yeah.
impressed with everyone's acronymic skills. So PF, let's hear your good news.
My good news is that I joined a local investment group by putting transferring some major capital that I had stashed away from my retirement,
Mhm.
so that it gives me access to people who are in that investment group, like
Right.
legit,
Right.
as opposed to being on the sidelines, kind of like saying, hey, yeah, I want to invest. It's more like, hey, I'm one of you guys.
PF just
I also have
cool.
I have this deal going on. Is any one of you available to help me out? Kind
What do
of
you
thing.
have going on? Well,
I'm
that's what
sorry?
the challenge is. PF, what do you have going on?
Oh, I don't have anything going on yet.
Oh, I got you. Never mind. It's metaphorical.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yes.
right, exactly. It's for the near future, for the future. Like, should I find a property that I want to uh, be the major investor in, or the person driving the projects, then I will have access to people who have capital, like who are already in the game, as opposed to like trying to
Fine.
convince people to get into investing.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Good news going around here. This is awesome sauce. My good news, let me see. I finished up my business taxes yesterday. Yay.
Yay.
It was easier than I thought, truly. And then now I've decided I'm gonna look into I need to write it down to actually get the dang thing done. The Chamber of Commerce, need to unbury my phone to get my Post-its out so I can write down joining the Chamber of Commerce. I've talked to a couple people and they're like, it's a great way to meet people around here. Which is what I want to do. I want to get in front of more businesses and people locally in my area. Chamber of Commerce. All right, so
That
that's,
is a great idea.
well, thank you. From what I understand, my particular city has a great one, so I looked into, there was a BNI group, I met with a bunch of them. Dates and times don't work for me at all. Plus BNI is stupid expensive now, and I'm really not, like, can I get into it? Yeah, I can get into it with 15 other different directions other than real estate if I wanted to. But they're like, just screw it, just go straight to the chamber. They're like, it's really active there, and you guys have a great chamber in our particular city. The next door city, not so good. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And what a great way to meet that's exactly what I want to meet, So anyway, all right, that's my good news. So challenges, what do we got? Who's got what? My head don't turn much farther, y'all. Someone's got something.
Flow,
What you got,
cash
Dutch?
flow,
Real flow.
Cash flow, cash flow.
cash flow challenge.
All right. So how's your lead generation looking?
How'd I get so lucky?
How does your lead generation look?
Right now, I'm working on specific deals. And my wife did look at the training from last week on putting up videos. And she said, wow, this is like being back in real estate. I said, no, duh. And she's recovering. So from the gallbladder operation, which is very good. So
Yeah.
she's starting to get her brain back a little bit from the drugs and the pain and so forth. So I'm going to be looking at that. I'm still working on that deal with the Chinese guy and the Gill whose wife passed away. Excuse me. Who would not give me an option to purchase because he's afraid. It's just a whole bunch of, excuse me, I'm gonna have to sneeze again.
Okay.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Yes.
So I'm waiting for the piñata to open up. I'm praying for the deal to drop in. It usually does. It has for the past 21 years. The first time I needed it, $23,000 dropped in through a check. So it's happened over and over again. I just have to avoid wanting to do a deal because I need a deal.
Right.
Which puts you into a bad situation. So I'm looking for the right deal. Let's hope that this Washington State deal turns into something, because I want to hire Stephen as my acquisitionist out there. He needs a job, so I need the cash. They'd be able to put him on payroll to be my acquisitionist in Washington State. I'll dig up the deals. He'll go by and ride by. He is licensed And I'm working to show him how this works very easily, so he can have a job as my acquisitionist until the bank gets started. And when the
Cool.
bank
That's really
gets
cool.
started, then we can continue to do that if we want to, but we'll probably be very busy with the banking stuff,
Yeah.
which is a total change of everything.
I love that.
So I'm working to hire him to be the acquisitionist, and he's looking for a house. And the first house I gave him to go look at is within a quarter of a mile where his 4 kids will be living. In this
Yeah.
separation thing that he said it's perfect. It's just, I can't believe it. It's just absolutely perfect. Out of all of Seattle,
Yeah, that's the one you find from clear across the country. That's pretty dang cool.
yeah.
Well-
The challenge is to hold it together until it gets there.
All right.
That's
So-
the challenge. Hold it together, keep working on it, keep poking at this one and that one, keep listening to the faith tapes, and keep having faith that my God shall supply all my needs and a whole bunch of other stuff according to his riches and glory.
He's abundant.
So you owe me a statement from something I printed or posted. Eva was supposed to send me.
Ava didn't send you something? I
No.
had her send it.
The chat Tuesday Tuesday or Wednesday last week. I
Okay.
know she was inundated by water
Oh, that's
and
right.
moved to the hotel and had all this other stuff.
She was. Okay, I'm putting it in
Yeah.
right now. So
That's-
I'll have her,
My
please
memory goes past a couple of nights sleep.
days, apparently. So that's going up there. Yeah, I did my taxes yesterday, which for the business was an expense and income statement. And based upon that, which was hugely eye-opening because I hadn't looked at it, which is that's horrible on my part, that I hadn't sat down and looked at all my expenses. I cut out a ton, and I am cutting out a ton, and it really gave me a lot of clarity around which training things I want to go to, which ones I do not want to go to, and using the free programs that I could possibly have all the access to, and continuing on that path of running stupid lean and mean. I mean, it was massive clarity. So it's not that it wasn't really a challenge. Well, it was a challenge to do my taxes. Don't get me wrong on that one. More because I dread doing it than
Yeah.
any
But
other
that's
reason.
why I'm here. Because I was making massive changes because my license is sitting there not doing anything. And I need to get in with a great bunch of fellows.
Yep. Yeah. Hence
So
that.
I'm here to be encouraged and to encourage others. So
That's awesome.
this is a massive change. This is okay, get back into real estate, even go so far as putting up the YouTubes. And my coach yesterday said, let me give you some advice. Be short, to the point, have your points ready, have a little humor. Don't worry about a thing. Just put it out, be consistent.
Yep. Hang on, that is worth raising the glass too, isn't it, Pia? That is exactly worth raising the glass too. Yeah, so my challenge to myself is to really explore what I have, that we've got access and tools to for free. There's massive out there. And to run stupid lean and mean for the rest of 2023 so that my taxes do not look as abysmal as my taxes. I looked at those and I was just like, that's disgusting. But it was also a huge wake-up call to do that. And then the other wake-up call is to keep my butt on top of those things throughout the year so that I'm not doing an analyzing of my business of 2022, July 31st of 2023. I was like, that was a stupid, dumb move on my behalf. So my part, that's right. So that was just a huge eye opener for me. And then one of my challenge moving forward is to really go through and look at that. So I have to do my personal next. I have to get that ready, which is super easy. All I have to do is get everything ready for the rental and toss that over there. Everything else is already over there. By the way, and then a cautionary tale, if you have a business that everything through EXP funnels into the business, when EXP sends out the 1099s now, the 1099 not included with the business, you have to go in and get a different direction through your the My EXP, where you check your rev share in your rev share, not through the what's that other thing called? Not workplace, that where the business page, not where you go to workplace and all that, but actually through your rev share, you can pull your 1099 income that way, which they don't have to 1099 their business anymore. Which I did not know. Did you guys know this?
They're all, for me, they're all zeros,
Well,
because I haven't done
Yeah.
anything. So
if
I'm
you're-
pulling
No,
nothing
didn't
from
know.
EXP
yeah,
because
so,
I don't pay.
right. So that's
Right.
not going to apply to you. But if you
So-
do it and you're running through a business account, just know that your 1099 is not, because my 1099, I got my 1099 from XP and it said $1,000. And I
Yeah.
was like, that is not right.
It's not right. Yeah, I got
That
it.
is not right. And so I popped into finance or accounting or whatever, and they're like, no, we don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to 1099 people who haven't paid through a business. I'm like, what is our government doing? She's like, you'll go find the information in here. Like, okay. Anyway, so just know that, but that's my challenge for myself, that to look at my business a lot closer than I have been. And my confession also, because that makes me a sucky leader if I haven't looked at my stuff close enough. So
Well, I
there you
understand.
go.
I have an account
Well-
that looks at that stuff.
You got PF.
No, you asked a rhetorical question of what is our government doing, and I have a rhetorical answer, which is creating more loopholes for those who are in major corporations. So, it's easy for Amazon to have zero in taxes, whereas the rest of us, we struggle figuring out exactly what we owe and what we're going to get back. So that's my rhetorical question, my rhetorical answer.
It's very interesting, isn't it? By
Yeah,
the way,
yeah.
the art behind you reminds me of Gauguin's. Those are interesting. I love the
Oh,
art
cool.
house.
Thank you.
You know who,
So I'm giving you I'm sorry.
you know who Gauguin is?
Yes, of course. He's a very amazing French, Dutch,
You do know.
1800s painter.
Tahitian, yeah, Tahitian painter, friend of Van Gogh, for Van Gogh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he moved to Tahiti because he had syphilis and stuff like that, and
I didn't know
blah.
that there.
Oh, really? He had a very, very sad life in reality.
Wow.
And he found a little bit of solace by moving in Tahiti. But he finally found friends and a new family that supported him until his dying days.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did not know
Yeah.
that. He's my very favorite painter of all the painters.
Oh, cool.
He and second would probably be Diego Rivera. But
Yeah.
those are my
Oh, nice. Well, I'm giving you a slight preview for the house tour that I once promised you all.
yes.
Because I was sitting in the porch and the sun was really intense and I was beginning to feel like I was getting burnt. So I moved inside, but
You were
my
almost a
house is
Boston
not.
baked bean.
I'm sorry.
You were almost a Boston baked bean.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
my house is not very clean right now, so it's not tour worthy.
We're not touring mine either because I had my granddaughter and everybody else here and I have boxes everywhere. And no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. And I did laundry the other day, so I still have piles of stuff.
No, that one.
Well, we are some completely off subject. Does anyone else? But thank you for that, by the way, Pia.
Yeah.
Okay, what
I have a challenge. I am trying to establish credit in my LLC name, and I'm trying to figure out what I need to do so that I can turn that really into a business entity. Anybody know how to do that?
First thing, you get a DUNS number. And I will try to get you, because I have it somewhere,
Dun and Bradstreet number?
Dun and Bradstreet. And if you've been doing business credit wise, you may already have one and not know it.
Do you
There is-
have a business credit card of any? Because I got like a Home Depot card or a Lowe's card or whatever. And so I started establishing that way. What else did I get? Oh gosh, what did I get credit wise? I don't
You
know what
have
else.
to
I
get-
can do about
You have
that.
to get the credit cards that report to Dunn's. And there are specific ones that will report directly to Dunn's. And they are not widely known. Some don't even report to Dunn's, they report somewhere else. But there are courses, I've taught them, I've sold business credit before. Charge $10,000 or 10% of whatever we got. Sometimes it'd be 110, 115, 130,000. Charge 10%. We split it between the people who did the applications. Funding Grow is one. It'll cost you about $1,500, but they'll make all the applications for you. And you don't have to do a thing, and all of a sudden, boom, they make all the applications and you get 5 or 6 or 7 unsecured credit cards that you don't have to pay 3% for. To
And it's
borrow
called what?
cash money off of.
It's called Fund what?
Funding Grow. Costs you about $1,500. They may sell you something for $3,000, but since it's a single person, and or if you are a single person, you just apply as a single person, and they'll set you up. It's Funding Grow. There's another one called Trinity Credit Repair down in Florida. I think you can tell them I told you to call. I can try to send you that information as well. I have it in the email. I can forward you the email. They do credit repair and they do credit establishment.
Is
or
it
businesses.
Is it Dunn's number? Because Dun and Bradstreet pissed me off because they just bug the crap out of me nonstop and will not leave me alone. So I guess the Dunn's number is free. So what Dutch was saying, I Googled Credit Karma or whatever through a business, and it's obviously incorporate, get a your Fed number, open up a business bank account. So that's the next step. I definitely did
Done
that.
all that.
Get a dedicated business phone line. So I have that also. So, and then register with Dunn's is the next one. And then your credit card, work with vendors that report payments, pay vendors early, use your business credit to manage your cash flow, monitor your reports. So, and I put it in the chat, the first 5 steps. You have your dedicated business phone also, or you have your phone through there for your business?
No, I don't have my phone through my business.
So Verizon, are you with Verizon?
No, I'm with T-Mobile.
You
I
can
don't
get
know
a Google number.
I contacted Verizon and said I needed the business account, and that's when we put the 5 people, because you can put up to 5 people, or you put a minimum of, you need 5 lines. So we gathered up the 5 people and put them together, and it's all run through the business. And we pay about $300 a month-ish for all 5 lines, unlimited everything, plus insurance on everything, unlimited everything. So it's not super expensive either. I mean, I was paying more than 100, 180 or something like that for a couple of lines. So anyway, so we did that also. And you use a business legal name and they'll just set you right up. So contact them and find out what the deets are.
Okay, because right now my son pays my cell phone, so, and I only have it personal, so I've got 0 cell phone bills.
So, yeah, okay, so switch over the other direction, where it's going back, because, so like, you can do the math.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
do-
I'll figure it out. That's helpful. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, the Dunn's number, Dutch, I did not know, so thanks for that. That's cool.
And Kay,
Yeah,
if you set the business phone line up in your name and then have your son pay whatever he's going to pay for like his line or whatever like that,
yeah.
because you can keep the same phone numbers.
Hmm.
And that way he can just pay for whatever he's gonna pay, and you can do things like, if you have an iPad, you can use that on a line. If you have a need for, it's called a jetpack, so it gives you,
Hotspots.
yeah,
Yeah.
hotspot. That can be one of your lines.
Yep.
So it's easy to get extra lines. You don't have to necessarily have 5 cell phones.
Right,
Okay.
right, but definitely get that and then get your DUNS number. And then I did the easiest, I don't know who Lowe's puts, I don't know who, or Home Depot or whatever. I did that because it made sense with the business and it was easy to track everything. And you get a discount if you're professional with them anyway, of like 10% off everything or something like that. If you run it through that way. So that's the other reason why I went that direction with credit cards on that one. Or credit card on that one on the business account. And that's the only credit card I have thinking. No, I do have the business account and the business card on that one too. So 2 business cards. I have the one for all the home improvement stuff and then the one for that I pay EXP expenses, whatever, whatever business expenses are there.
I was just wondering,
So-
I've got an American Express account that I'd really like to, I got it primarily for business, but it's in my personal name. I wanted to see if I could call them and switch it over to a business name. But are they going to ask to see financials and all that stuff? Because I don't have good financials on
I
it.
didn't have to send my financials in at all.
Can I say something?
It was attached to the business bank account.
Can I
Yeah.
say something? Credit institutions, as you know, they'll borrow a bunch of money and they'll lend it out to 10 different people for 10 different reasons. So one of the reasons that they look for are business people, because they know business people are a good risk. They have a certain amount of money to lend. They don't advertise this that much. So finding somebody who has knowledge of which of these small credit unions, local credit unions, or large or larger institutions that are looking to lend money to your specific type of lending, where you'll borrow 10, 15, or $20,000, then pay it back in 2 or 3 months. In other words, you're that type of risk they're looking for, because they're trying to spread their risk over a whole bunch of areas, from the risky credit card to the mortgages. So finding these particular banks that you apply for credit for is important, because you get almost immediate response. Within 4 or 5 days, you're approved, and you get chunks, 10, 15, 20, 30, $40,000, and it doesn't cost you 3% every time you take the money out. As if you go to and get a regular credit card, they're going to want to charge you a cash advance fee, and that is costly. It's like points.
Stupid costly. Like it's like usury law costly. Cash advance fees on
Oh,
credit cards can be ridiculous.
If you fit a certain profile, then you're the type of lender for that chunk of money that they have. And
Mhm.
when they have that money and they're setting up new accounts, and you apply at that particular time, and people like Funding Grow and Trinity, they know when to do that. I knew when to do that when I was doing the credit, business credit qualifying. And I had a group of ladies that knew how to do that, that were working for a company to do that. So just to save you a step, you can apply to Wells Fargo. My daughter applied to Wells Fargo, and they promised her a $50,000 business credit thing, but they went through so much stuff, and it's so much stuff to go through it. It's almost like having a personal account.
Yeah.
And they want everything lined up, where these other companies, they are more liberal, and the money that you borrow is a lot easier, and they know you're going to use it for quick things, like you're going to borrow money from here for the plumbing, you're going to borrow money from here for the flooring, money from here for the painting, you're going to borrow money from here because you're running a rehab company. And they don't mind being vested in small amounts, especially with somebody who has experience. So they look at those things. They want to know how long you've been in business. They want to see something about the business. They want to see that you may have had a gas account somewhere. And there are some accounts where you can go and be a vendor and just pull up and get gas there, and it's not your regular BP. It's not your regular. It's maybe I've said too much. I teach. I've taught this stuff before.
Very,
I
very
know what I'm doing.
Thank you.
I know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Good
You
one.
apply to the normal
We didn't
run of the
know
mill
about the
people,
DUNS
you
number.
will get the normal run of the mill shaft.
Yeah, I'm sick of shams. I'm done with shams. And
I'm
I'm
gonna learn the DUNS number. I did not
begging
know.
for money. I'm just sick of it.
There's another place where there's a guy named Thompson. I get emails from him all the time. He wants me to join his little team, his big team, because they sit around and talk about how to do it. And they routinely get $100,000 to $150,000 of business credit a month if they want it. Their first pull, if they're not, it's business. They don't care about your personal. They don't
Right.
care.
No.
They just want to know that you've got a business that's been in business for a while.
Yep.
I'd like
I
the
have a
name of
base-
those people. I like to talk to them.
All right, well, email me. I'm at all the options at Gmail.
Okay.
Oh, what a
I
great.
have a basic question. Basic question. What is the difference between setting up a business telephone number or telephone versus just using a cell phone, another cell phone line, and calling it your business line?
Because
No
the business can pay for it. There's no difference other than the business pays for it. And when you want your business to pay for stuff, because the income comes in, your business pays for it, and then all the expenses, and then the tax, versus your income comes as an employee, you're taxed, and then you get the money, and then you spend it with your expenses. So it's where does the tax hit you? Like my goal is to reduce down as low as humanly possible with expenses on my business, which is not, it's doable. There's things that you can do to bring that way down on that. So like my health insurance runs through my business. My phone runs through my business. There's all kinds of things that run through the business. So that's the main difference. There's no difference in this phone for any other phone. There's zero difference in it.
Where you pay it
Okay,
from.
cool.
Yeah, that's it.
It's
What it-
where you pay it from.
That's it.
If you pay it out of your personal account, it's a personal phone. If you pay it out of your business account, it's a personal phone. I mean, it's a business phone. It's where you pay it from and what you report as expenses.
Yep, that's it.
Cool.
That's it.
All right, thank you.
Talk to
But then,
Do you have your business set up? Yes.
no, not in the way that you all been talking about today.
I have
Because,
sorry, go ahead.
No, because you said that you contacted Verizon and told them that you needed a business phone line.
Hmm?
And then it gave you all these fine numbers, and it's only 300 even.
300 for five full phones plus insurance. So there's
Yeah.
a company that Gary turned me on to in California that can do a really fast LLC. You can do it yourself also. Gary and I both placed ours in Wyoming. He has his with a different registered agent than I do. I had problems with that registered agent, so he doesn't like him either, but he hasn't flipped. But I flipped over to a different one. I love the new one. But Gary's like, dump it in Wyoming. Here's why you should dump it in Wyoming. Just have it
Yeah.
hang.
Yeah,
So-
Wyoming's the best place. I went through and took all mine out because I was so pissed off at the people that set mine up. And I switched it over and I just made myself the registered agent, which maybe I shouldn't have done, but I wanted to be in control because they hadn't filed taxes for 5 years. And
My same problem in California.
I had to get it all redone and I had to reinstate my LLC. And I just said, enough with that. I'm taking control. I just got finished with all that. And I just got my letter from the Texas Comptroller and the letter from Secretary of State. Now I'm reinstated. So now I want to set it up and do it right and really start running everything through my business. Because before it was just an individual LLC and it flowed right up to my personal taxes. And so, it didn't make a lot of difference. But now as I'm doing bigger things, I want to make sure it's handled separately and I don't get into commingling of funds. Because I know
Exactly.
I've commingled before. I know it. So
Right. I've heard Delaware is good too. Delaware, Nevada, and Wyoming. Nevada has recently changed their laws. I believe Delaware and Wyoming are so far like the two best. I don't remember why we decided to go Wyoming. Gary had a
well,
reason.
Lou Brown puts up a thing in his course of all the states, and he has these boxes of where you want to incorporate, and Wyoming is at the top. I just remember that from his
Yep.
course. Because
Yeah,
I was thinking mine was in Utah, and I was thinking about relocating it to Wyoming, but I just never got around to it.
yep. So anyway, that's part of it. There's my broker that I had, which was a brilliant man in Virginia, Southern Virginia, said there's a dollar threshold where it totally makes sense with what you're doing to incorporate. At that time, which was 2009, probably maybe 2010. He said at that time, the dollar threshold was 50K. If you're earning more than 50K in income, it completely makes sense to incorporate and run everything through. I don't know where he came up with that dollar amount. I
Does
really
that
don't.
mean from an LLC to an S corp?
That means from an individual to incorporate into a corp, an S corp. From an individual, he wasn't even talking LLC level. But when I look at it, I'm like, yes, it costs money to run, because you have to pay your state that you live in. Usually I have to pay Florida, you have to pay Texas, and then you're paying your incorporation. But from
Your
a
franchise tax.
yeah, you're still paying those. But it's still math wise, I don't know where I got the 50K, because I'm like, this makes sense all damn day. Like literally all dang day, it makes sense. So, and then the beauty of it also is, and I have to jump onto a coaching call here in a minute, but the beauty of it also is I'm incorporated, I'm a W-2 employee, which means whoever I'm talking to in whatever situation I want to go into, if they're like, well, you need to be a W-2 employee for this, I'm like, great, W-2 employee. If they're like, you need to be a business owner, great, business owner. I can play either side I want to play because I'm an employee of my business. And then, yeah, I run Square payroll for my business just because it's like $35, I think, a month, and they file all my taxes for me for payroll. I don't have to do anything. I just run my payroll, and you also have complete control of your payroll of when you want to pay yourself and all that kind of stuff. So I just run it through them. They pay all my taxes. All I have to do at the end of the year, which I just did, is go click, upload to the accountant, and then they have everything. And I don't.
Do you pay your virtual assistant as a W-2, or you just pay that as a business?
No, because she's through a company, so
Yeah.
it's an expense. It's not a W-2 nor a 1099 employee for that particular company, for that particular VA. I don't know how all VAs work, but
That's the way mine works. I was just wondering how to set that up.
yeah. I wish it was, because I would like to get more of the deduction and have the other employee. So I would like to have it that way. Even in spite of the taxes, I still think I would like to go that way. Anyway, all right, y'all. I gotta run because I gotta jump onto a coaching call in just a minute. And I need to get a refill on some dang caffeine. Craig, it's good to see you. Did you watch Friday?
Good to be back. Did I watch Friday?
Mhm.
The movie?
No, that's the movie.
No, I did watch it. Yeah, yeah.
A
Thank-
movie to see is Oppenheimer. It's amazing.
I want to go see that one.
It
I
is
haven't seen it yet.
phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I just took a $15 nap through Indy maybe a week ago. So I think I can stay away for Oppenheimer. We'll see.
I saw
Anyway,
both Barbie and Oppenheimer, and I highly recommend Oppenheimer.
I want to see both too. And I'm not Barbie movie stuff usually, but I kind of want to see it anyway. It looks funny.
Well,
So
there's kind of a theme in both of them, which I found interesting.
that's what everyone says. Everyone's like, see them back to back, go see Oppenheimer first, or Oppenheimer, however you pronounce that, and then go see Barbie after that. And so that really kind of intrigues me. I don't
There's
know.
a common theme. It's very interesting.
I can't sit for 6 hours of movie, so it's not happening with me back to, I would have to stop, go home, drink, or leave, go have 5 coffees and go back in again. I don't know. We'll see. So I hope you guys have amazing rest of your days. And it strikes me today, as I was kind of pondering over real estate and life and all that kind of stuff right before this call, that it's a great adventure. And it's a great sort of stepping out continually into the unknown with faith and trust and plowing forward and exploring new things and the great adventure part, who knows what you'll discover? I mean, there's a whole world out there. It's just it's a fun thing to do, and we are the great adventurers. So go have a great adventure today, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Love you.
More.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Bye.